My friend yesterday, I went to a photo shoot supporting Dabria, and he was like, yo, me and a friend of mine were talking, and he was like, yo, Nikki, you had a good year. And I was like, fuck, I had a good year. Yeah, I'm accomplishing things. Like, I have even other realtors cheering me on and telling me, damn, you killing it or whatever. And I'm sometimes like, oh yeah, you're right. You're right, because I'm focused on the next thing. Like, okay, I need to do this. I still didn't hit this. And I'm like, I got to stop that.
Yeah, I always tell people, you know where your business is, not by the sales that you've closed, but by the amount of people that are reaching out to you. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad thing, obviously, because closing is what makes you the money.
Yes.
But a lot of times, especially when you're building your business, you're going to see that traction. You're going to feel it. As you're getting more people to contact you, and you know, some of them are not going to close. It's normal, especially within our business. But when you feel that within yourself and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, that's when it's time for you to hire. Showtime!
It's showtime!
So, this is the last episode of the year.
The last episode of the year.
So, today we're going to kind of be going over our, I guess, not our goals, our accomplishments this year. I guess, our goals, what we accomplished, what we didn't accomplish, business and personal. And we'll be talking about more or less, because it is Financial Wellness Month.
Yes, it is December
for us. So we'll jump into it. This is Millennial Money Matters. My name is Mike, NMLS 1857587, team lead for the Molina team with Highlands Residential Mortgage. And this is my co-host,
Nichollette White, real estate extraordinaire. And yeah, tune in, tap in. Millennial Money Matters, episode 6. Episode 6. Wow, I'm proud of us. We're almost to 10.
I was just talking to Jabria before you got here, because we're actually we need to do much better with promoting. We need to get a social media manager that we spoke about, in our planning meeting and things like that. But we're getting views without really
doing much.
The promoting that we should be, which is fault to us. But it's good. That means that the content is there. Right?
Yes.
So we thank you guys for
watching us
for all of 2023, really, when it's only been about 2-3 months.
I know. No, but that's big though, because that's how we're going to go into 2024. Because once we get our social media manager and we really start ramping it up, I feel like we're going to come out swinging for real.
Yeah.
Merch.
I think so too.
Merch. We really need to get merch.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah.
How you been?
I've been really good. It's crazy, because even talking about our year, this being the topic for the episode, my friend yesterday, I went to a photo shoot supporting Dabria, and he was like, yo, me and a friend of mine were talking, and he was like, yo, Nikki, you had a good year. And I was like, fuck, I had a good year. And I was like, damn, I am so always in my head, always what can I do better? What do I need to do that? I don't always digest that. I don't always sit in it yeah, I'm accomplishing things. I have even other realtors cheering me on and telling me, damn, you killing it or whatever. And I'm sometimes like, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Because I'm focused on the next thing. Okay, I need to do this. I still didn't hit this. And I'm like, I got to stop that. But I had a good year, Mike. I feel like every year is a good year, but I definitely did some things this year that I'm proud of.
You see your business coming into fruition. And anybody that had a good year this year, I think is really almost what's the word for it in literature? Foreshadowing.
Yes. Hello, foreshadowing. Word of the day.
For the future. Because this has been such a tough year for real estate in general.
Yeah.
Where sales were just down across the board. Mortgage applications were the worst that they've been, even worse than the 2007 crisis. And you hear people today, I lived through that and all that stuff. So now we're going to be those old heads
talking about what we lived through.
10 years or so, talking about what we went through when the market is normal again.
Whatever that's going to look like. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Nah, facts. So let's get into it then.
Let's do it. So your goals for this year, what were they at the beginning? Actually, I kind of want us to start there in January. Like, what did we think this year was going to look like for us, and how did we get there?
So, realistically, let's talk about real estate for me. I was like, I wanted to do 5 million this year. I was like, if I could just hit 5 million, I'll be cool. And reason why I set it at 5 million was because last year I did 3. So I was like, all right, Nick, if you did 3 last year, you can do 5 million. Well, I exceeded that. So I'm so proud of myself, to the point where halfway through, I was like, fuck it, go for 10. You know, I said, stop shooting it so low. You too close to what you did last year. Like, really go for 10. So I was like, all right, Nick, fuck that 5 million. Your goal is 10. And so I'm at 6.5. So the year's not over yet. But I'm so proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the first 6 months of the year, I hit my goal. You know what I'm saying?
That's
the
huge.
last 6 months, I kind of slowed down a little bit, but I saw where I took the time to really start to develop my business. We shared in the first episode that my CRM, my back office, I'm transparent. Like, I didn't have it on lock the way I should have, and I was like, yo, there's so much money in that. And so moving forward into 2024, I really want to squeeze my pipeline for real and milk that money that's there. So I'm super proud. What other goal did I set for myself? I mean, that's really that. Make 6 figures. I hit that shit. Like making it for real. Like, really, I was so proud of myself, because when you think about entrepreneurship, like, that's the one thing everyone says. I made 6 figures in 6 months. I made 6 figures in a year. La 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 la. Granted, when you hit that, you're just like, fuck, okay, I need a little bit more, because you realize what 6 figures equates to in real life. Like, okay, I'm glad that you did that, but you need to make a little bit more. It's expensive. So even hitting that milestone and being able to say that for myself, I felt good, because it was that moment that I was like, yo, I'm actually able to hold my own as an entrepreneur. I also shared at the first episode that I had to go back to work at one point in time. So knowing that I was able to sustain, and I'm actually at a point in my career where I don't really have to look for a 9 to 5, I'm not nervous. I don't have anxiety anymore about doing real estate. I'm proud, because I'm like, you have built a foundation now for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so proud of myself as far as that. So I hit those 2 goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. Literally, I have a vision board. I should have brought it today. And it said those things, you know what I'm saying, on my vision board. And to be able to look at my vision board and really see it, I'm like, damn, I did this. So I'm excited. I'm keeping my same vision board, because there's certain things on there that I have not checked off yet.
What?
And so a team.
Okay.
I really, that's my focus for the up and coming years. Like, I've laid the foundation for myself. I know that I have to work a little bit harder still, because developing a team, I got to make sure that I have the right people under me, not only for them to do good, but for me to really take off the way I know I want to. So that's one. Team wins was on my vision board that I did not really hit. But when I think about the way I collaborated with so many different people, I think I still am able to check that off, because I feel like we started this podcast. That's a team. So that's a team win. I think about some of the things that I've done with Jabria, collaborating with her. Those are also team wins. But me personally, for one of my goals, I wanted a team. And so that's what I am going to work on in 2024, really building that. It is. And I'm not going to lie to you, that's my biggest fear. That's why I'm still a lone agent, because I'm like, yo, I don't know if I want to deal with this. But I realized that when you help people get what they want, by default, you get what you want. And I don't want to be that agent that suffers from burnout as her business grows, because I felt that. That's something that I experience sometimes when I'm not on social media. I'm not putting out the content as much because I'm burnt out. I'm creating content. I'm showing properties still. I'm working hand in hand with my clients. And I think I kind of spoiled them a little bit, because I try to do that whole showing assistant thing, and they're like, no, you. And I'm like, no.
Because you need to get somebody that's going to do it exactly like the way that you do it.
Exactly.
As soon as you do it one time, they realize why Nichollette is Nichollette.
Yes. And so that's what I'm looking for. I told myself, now it's time for me to really scout people that are serious in their business. I can teach them a few things and like train them up, you know? And so even having my back office on lock, you know, these are things that I know that can benefit another agent, an up and coming agent that wants to do good, that wants to have the similar testimony as myself, you know, really building my business for real. I have never been on a team. I've never paid for leads, you know, not knocking anybody that done that. But when I really think about where my business has come from, it's social media and literally referrals. So I'm like, I'm doing something right, you know, and I'm getting the clientele that I want. You know, I'm not just getting like low hanging fruit. I'm doing some decent deals here, you know, so.
Yeah, I always tell people you can know where your business is, not by the sales that you've closed, but by the amount of people that are reaching out to you. It's not a bad thing, obviously, because closing is what makes you the money.
Yes.
But a lot of times, especially when you're building your business, you're going to see that traction. You're going to feel it as you're getting more people to contact you. And, you know, some of them are not going to close. It's normal, especially within our business. But when you feel that within yourself, that's when it's time. You're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. That's when it's time for you to hire. Don't wait for yourself to get to that point where you're closing those deals, because it is very difficult. Yeah, it's like almost like a never-ending cycle. Like you're on the mouse on the wheel
all the time.
Because now you're kind of just flowing and you're going, and it's hard to get somebody and train somebody when you're that busy.
Absolutely, and I don't want to get to the point where I'm starting to. Like the quality that I'm able to give my clients is starting to diminish, where they're like, hey, you haven't reached out, or you haven't. Granted, I'm really good with that. Yo, Apple, the pins where you are able to pin people to the text message at the top. If you're a client of me and I'm working with you, you are pinned, you know, because I'm like, yo, I need to be able to make sure I'm tapping in with you guys all the time.
You gave me a gem.
I'm telling you, if I'm working with you, you are pinned to the top of my stuff. Once I'm done working with you, I move you, of course. But I got to make sure those important people that I need to contact every day or every week, I see them, because if not, the text messages, we get texts all the time. It doesn't matter. We're getting text messages all the time. And when my text messages start to fall underneath and I miss a client, I missed a potential buyer the other day. They hit me up on WhatsApp. I don't know why, dear God. I don't use WhatsApp. I literally responded into her. Something told me, check WhatsApp. And I checked it. Literally, it was like about 18 hours after she hit me up, because it shows you. And I texted her, you know, gave her my welcome, everything like that. She texted me back and was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I've moved on to another realtor. And I said, shit. That shows you the power of time. That follow-up, they need you now, because there's so many of us in the pool. And so I could never fathom not responding to a potential lead client, somebody that's hot. If you're hot in my list, you're in my pins, period. So pending people.
That's the... Oh, I thought Jabria was trying to tell us something, but she's celebrating us. She's celebrating our wins. I feel it. That is very key. I think it's, you know, timing. Especially in this business, because they will move on before you can show them your value.
Yes.
Right? It's kind of you have to be quick to the sale to show them your value, but then after that, it's kind of like, I've shown you what I'm capable of. You probably talk to somebody else and you realize that they're not me.
Yeah, spin the block.
Right? So, and that goes to what you were saying earlier about being the showing assist. It's the same thing with me, right? Is if I get on the phone with somebody, they don't want to speak to the team. Moving forward, they don't. And
you know that because we had our situation too with one of potential buyers that requested Mike Molina. That was it.
But yeah, I agree with you in the sense of like, you know, having kind of different avenues of income.
Yes.
Especially as a realtor, and a lot of realtors that are not necessarily hitting their goals or their income goals specifically. And are thinking of leaving, instead of them kind of twisting their mindset a little bit and staying within real estate and just getting other licenses, they leave the industry completely. And so I think that, you know, if you're watching this and you're kind of on that edge, I would encourage you to look at trying to get your appraiser's license, trying to get your license to be an inspector, trying to get your insurance license for real estate or, for homeowners insurance, and stay within the real estate industry for now. Keep that real estate license active until your stuff starts to hit. But there's a lot of representation that we need for appraisers, for insurance agents, for inspectors and things like that. That there's other avenues, that it's not just being a realtor or being a loan officer.
Yeah.
Right? There's other things and other people within the transaction, title companies, that you can be a part of, and mobile notaries, right?
Yeah.
Like, as I think of this, you have so many other side hustles. You can get paid $100, $200 to do mobile notaries if you have the right connection with title companies, right? If that's one signing a week and you get 4 signings a month, you're talking about $800 extra a month that you're able to get on the side to spend $200 per signing, and you spend 2-3 hours there
at best,
to sign to explain the documents to somebody, and that's it, right? That'll help you kind of stay in the industry a little bit longer and figure out what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Instead of just going back to the 9 to 5 and calling it quits. That would be my advice, especially if you're looking for multiple streams of income.
No, that's really good advice.
So back to what I accomplished, right? Like, in terms of the team aspect and in terms of loan officer stuff, which is really what I need to continue to make sure I have top of mind in the future moving forward, because I've put my hands in a lot of different jars, like NAREB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, the South Florida Board of Realtors. I'm the second vice president now, which sounds enticing, but let me break down the timelines to you.
Please do.
So NAREB is a national organization, and I found this out a couple weeks ago, and I'm fucking scared. Pardon my French. And so there are national presidents.
Yes.
So right now, the current president started her term, and every president has 2 years per term.
Okay.
And so on the local level, it's the same. So in the local level, it's Tamika Moses.
Yes.
She has her 2 years with the national president, Courtney Johnson Rose. And then the first vice president is out of LA, Ashley Thomas.
Okay.
Super cool guy.
Okay.
He's amazing. And he actually was from YRD, which we'll explain a little bit later. But now Carlos is the first VP locally. So he's going to match up with Ashley Thomas when Ashley Thomas becomes president.
Okay.
Now the second VP of national is Danny Felton, local Miami representative, and I match up with him on the national level.
Okay.
Which means that when it's time for Miami to do NAREB's national convention, where, by the way, thousands, not hundreds, thousands of people come, guess who is the MFer that's responsible for throwing that convention?
You.
No.
Isn't that you?
It is me, unfortunately. And it's not a task that I'm looking forward to 6 years from now.
You just dove into it, though. I like that.
Because you haven't been to a convention. So this is one thing that I'm going to challenge you for 2024. You either need to go to Midwinter in February, which is in North Carolina.
Okay.
Or to the national event in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay.
In August.
Okay.
And I promise you, if you go there, you will come back, and we will be this will be NAREB Money Matters. I'm telling you, when you find out what National Association of Real Estate Brokers is about, you would know why I push so hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it is, you have to go, and this is something that, like, which is probably why I've climbed the ladder so fast locally, is because I want people to understand what NAREB brings on a national level, but put it in a local level, so I don't have to tell you have to go to a convention.
Yeah.
No, hey, this is what NAREB is about, right? But it's going to be huge, and it's huge for realtists to go to these conventions and really see what we are trying to do on the national level. I mean, it's beautiful. Like it's.
Well, I'm gonna say you're doing a good job because it's because of you that I joined. It's because of you that I have a better understanding of NARAB. Because again, like you say, like you hear about it, you know, you become a realtor, you want to join organizations, but you're not really clear about why you should be joining this organization or what they have to do or how they benefit you and your clients, etc. So you have really done such a great job shining light on NARAB. I'm not gonna hold you. For me anyways, you know, you are the closest connection I have to the organization, and I feel like you have spread so much knowledge. You're always talking about it. Clearly you're dedicated to it, so I will definitely go to one of the conventions, maybe both, I don't know.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. I think if you go to Midwinter, you're gonna buy your ticket for National that
really
that day. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so impactful. Like even for Jabria to go, she's not in the real estate industry, but just to see what NAREB, why NAREB started, and what it has become over the years for Black people and just for minorities in general. Because I always, you know, I'm mostly Hispanic, like legit mostly Hispanic, and
he's mostly, guys, 95%?
Yeah, like
99.1.
About it depends, right? Because you always hear about like what your nationality is, and mine is just American. I was born here, but my parents are two, and my mom's two, and my dad's two. So I'm basically 4 nationalities in general.
What are they?
Dominican.
Here goes Mike's fun facts of the episode.
So Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, and Black.
He Black, y'all. He Black.
I mean, even being Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Cuban,
he Black. He would have been Black regardless.
Yeah, I mean,
because they're Black to me.
Yeah, the only difference is that essentially a long time ago, not me specifically, but people that live in those islands that were actually Black, their slave owners were Spaniards. That's the only difference, really. But when it comes down to it, right, I always... And I kind of lost my train of thought. But basically, NAREB is really what it's about for Black people and minorities in general. But this is not a NAREB podcast. I mean, I love NAREB, and I'm glad to be a part of it. But I also started the Young Realtors Division.
Yes.
And the Young Realtors Division is the young portion of NAREB. And I am the founding president for YRD Miami. So some more things that I did not say no to when I should have.
Ooh, you have a busy year coming up.
Yeah. So 2024 is going to be a lot. And so, you know, when I started off the podcast saying I have a tattoo of do more on my thigh, I need to get it covered up. I need to do less.
Do a little bit less.
Do a little bit less. Say no, whatever the hell it is. I need to be able to.
Maybe.
Right. Instead of do more, just think about it about it again.
I'll get back to you.
I'll get back to you.
I'll think about it.
Because it has been a busy year for me, you know, outside of building the team. Because I did hire a 4th person this year, Ralph, which is, you know, coming along really great.
Is he in office or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody on my team is in office.
Okay.
We're very particular and very strategic with that. As soon as you give somebody the freedom to, you know, work from home, you don't know how I guess, not, I wouldn't say how busy, but how productive they're
right, they're going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do give my guys, like, there's no set amount of PTO days, right? We go through if you need the time off, you tell me and you got it, type of thing. And I give them a lot of flexibility, a lot of leverage to be able to do different things. Like this year I did start a business with Yoster. Specifically as a partner, and I basically told them, look, I'll be 50-50, I'll be the finance, you kind of run it. And it's business funding.
Good. Oh, I see.
So we've been doing that. Well, he's been doing that primarily.
Yeah.
We have our talks. Yeah, we have our talks on kind of, you know, more or less what we need to improve on and things like that. But that's solely his, and whatever I need to provide financially, I will. I don't have a problem. Good. I believe in my people. I believe in my team. I think I'm very nepotistic.
Hello.
I'm a nepotist.
That's another word, guys.
Yes, I'm a nepotist when it comes to my people. I look out for them. My brother lives in one of my properties. He doesn't pay any rent.
Mason.
He works for me, right? So I'm a huge nepotist. I've kind of done that, especially as I've been able to build my business, and right, a lot of my money doesn't go to just me and buying fancy things. It goes to my team and giving them different avenues and different things to be able to, different opportunities to be able to kind of get something else for themselves, right? So that's been my year. I mean, starting the business funding thing with Yoster, and it was after I went to the national convention, by the way, for NAREB.
Okay.
Which kind of taught me about doing that. Being the second vice president of NAREB, being the founding president of YRD Miami, building the team and doing it, and, pushing to pretty much $30 million this year in a down year has been my accomplishments professionally.
That's a good one. You've had a great year. I told you that. We started with saying that, and you definitely did. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I know that next year you're gonna kill it. That's it. I trust you. One thing, and that's why, not for nothing, when we first had our conversation, like we did the realtor loan officer conversation, we introduced ourselves to each other, and I think we talked about what our goals were. You told me what your goals were, and it was solely based around the client. It wasn't a dollar amount that you wanted to make. It was the amount of people that you wanted to help. And when you said that, I was like, this guy is somebody that I want to work with, because when you're focused on the people, by default, you will get everything that you desire. Even you saying like what you've done and how you're accomplishing and helping your team and your family. By doing those things, by putting these people in positions, you by default will reap the benefits from it as well, because you're helping other people, and that's how it should be. So I know that you're going to have an awesome year. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch you. I'm excited to even grow this platform with you.
So I'm ready. We didn't even mention it. Well, you may have, but we also started Millennial Money Matters for everybody.
We did, and we have a step and repeat.
We do have a step and repeat. This is not a waiting room. This is not a waiting room.
It's not. It's not the waiting room, guys.
This is Millennial Money Matters. We started our podcast this year, and we are I'm really excited to shoot these episodes, to have these conversations, to bring people on that are not just from real estate. Our last episode had Sanchir, where she has her side business with cooking and selling her spices, which I've tried, which are phenomenal.
Yes. So glad you tried them. They are
which
so
are
good.
Phenomenal. I have to let her know. But just bringing people within, that are millennials that are really doing it, because and I don't want to go back to NAREB, but just really quick, like YRD specifically, the Young Realtors Division, that's what we plan to do, is help people that are coming into the industry as novices, whether you are young at age, young at heart, or just young and just got your license in general, right? We want to be able to bring you and teach you things. And I think that that's what this podcast does on the entrepreneur level. Yeah. And so I'm really excited to kick off 2024 for us, because the one goal that I have for Millennial Money Matters is to get at least one sponsor.
Yes.
Next year. But if we can make it 3.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's put 3. I feel like we can.
I think we can get 3 sponsors for an episode. And we'll talk about your product within the episode. Yeah. But only because we got to stay true to
what we believe in.
What we believe in. Only after we try it.
Absolutely.
So, Sanchir, if you're watching episode number 6.
Hello.
Well, hey, listen. We'll do a whole... We'll record this in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We'll record this in the kitchen.
Let's take it to the kitchen. Hello. TGI Friday pasta. Let's take it to the kitchen. We're hungry. Okay.
So what are you looking forward to next year?
Okay, so next year, definitely kicking off my business that we talked about offline. For sure, definitely coming to you, so we can really have a conversation, because I really want to execute this. My vision is so big and it's so clear. I fine-tune what I want. I'm very specific and particular, and so I want to get that off the ground. It's a goal of mine. I was so inspired. My cousin just recently bought a building. She closed on it the week after Thanksgiving. So it was a multi-use building. So it had residences. It's in Philly. It had residences at the top and then a daycare at the bottom. And she didn't rent the shit. She owns it. And I was like, yo, that's huge. Big. And so I was like, Nichollette, what can you do for yourself? Just seeing her, her being my cousin I grew up with, I'm like, yo, this is so close range. This is so possible. So that's something that I'm looking forward to in 2024. And then also personally, really getting strict with my wellness and fitness.
I go to the gym, I do all that stuff, but carbs is my biggest kryptonite. And so I want to really put myself on a very strict, I don't want to say diet, I don't like that. But I want to be a little bit more disciplined with how I do eat, increasing my protein and veggie intake versus my carbs. So what is it, calorie deficit? Like doing one of those, like really just seeing how far I can get with that. How can I really transform my body in that regards? I did it last week. I think I was on a really good run, and I suffer from a lot of like sinus issues, and I noticed that I didn't have those problems. Like I wasn't nasally, I was not congested, I wasn't having like post-nasal drip, and I was like, wow, I cut out a lot of carbs. So I do think also that I might have a gluten allergy or whatever, but that's something I really want to focus on myself physically. And not for nothing, I want to prepare myself to live off the grid. I have this weird
relationship. You're taking notes from Leave the World Behind for sure.
Listen,
she said, I'm getting ahead of y'all.
I am getting ahead of y'all. I'm getting off the grid. So no, but I want to challenge myself to remove myself out of social media, my intake, as well as my input in it. I want to know what it's like to just really live off the grid for real. Off the grid for me meaning just not being a part of social media for a while. Seeing if I miss it, seeing the impact, did I really have an impact? Or,
you won't miss it.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. You know, seeing how much I can focus, because I literally now have on my phone where it times me. I cannot spend no more than an hour on Instagram, and so it'll pop up a message and says you have, you know, you're exceeding your time limit or whatever. And I want to know how much time, freedom, and how present I can be without using this app. So it may not be 2024 because I want to use social media to really ramp my business and my team. But 2025, I want to set myself up to live off the grid.
That 2-year goal, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I took I've taken some time off of Instagram in general within the past quarter. This last quarter of the year, I'm posting much less than what I typically did. You know, I post our clips from our episodes, but for the most part, I haven't done any videos speaking about market updates or any stories or anything like that. You know, the most I've posted is pretty much me and my kids, and I can tell you, I don't miss it. No, but I'm getting ready for kind of ramping up for January because content is king at the end of the day. It is. Right? Content is king. But just knowing now, I think I took the right time, and you should take this last 2-3 weeks to do the same thing, to feel what it is to not have it, because that's kind of what I've gone through. And it does feel amazing to know that my business can still function without me being blatantly on Instagram and on social media. Ultimately, my retirement goal is $100 million in 1 year. And people laugh when I say this because they know that I'm just a fucking workaholic, excuse my French, but that I just continue to work, and they don't believe me when I say 100 million is my goal. But once I reach $100 million, like I'm telling everybody on my team, peace. Yeah. If you don't have your license, find another team to go to. I'm going to have my specific realtors that I deal with, the ones that give me the least amount of headaches, Nichollette White being one of them. Right? Listen, I love you guys. It's the end of the year. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Being an entrepreneur does not give you free time. There's people that do have money and time, and they are blessed. Yeah. But most of the people that have money do not have time, and most of the people that have time do not have money. That's just the way it is. So for 2024, you need to figure out which one you want to be, and then figure out how you can manage that for your children and for your people around you. Love you guys.
Peace.
This is Millennial Money Matters. See you 2024.
2024.
Showtime.
It's showtime.